Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into something incredibly powerful. We are exploring how to take uncompromising control of our lives by mastering two foundational pillars, our wealth and our habits. Think about it for a second. How often do we set these massive, life-changing financial goals only to just kind of fall right back into our same old routines? Well, today, we are going to look at the exact frameworks you need to not only understand how money works, but how your brain works. We're going to figure out how to build the systems necessary to achieve total freedom.
You know, Robert Kiyosaki absolutely hits the nail on the head when he says, the main reason people struggle financially is because they have spent years in school but learned nothing about money. And I know so many of you probably feel an intense sense of validation hearing that, right? I mean, we spend decades in the traditional education system learning everything from algebra to ancient history, yet the fundamental rules of wealth generation and habit design are just completely ignored. The result? People learn how to work for money, but they literally never learn how to make money work for them.
So here is our roadmap for today. We'll start with number 1, challenging conventional wisdom. Then 2, rewiring your financial mindset. 3, the origin of atomic habits. 4, systems over goals. 5, the fundamentals of change. And finally, 6, mastering your future.
Okay, let's just dive right in. Section 1, challenging conventional wisdom. To build something new, we first have to completely deconstruct the old. Kiyosaki basically explodes the financial myths that society has fed us for decades. Myth number 1, you need a high income to become rich. Simply not true. It's all about what you do with the money you have, not just the sheer volume of your salary. Myth number 2, and oh boy, this one always ruffles some feathers, your house is a financial asset. This challenges a deeply held societal belief that honestly often traps people in lifelong debt. And myth number 3, you can rely on the school system to teach kids about money. As we just talked about, that system is fundamentally broken when it comes to financial literacy. Turns out, what we thought was true is actually the exact thing holding us back from building real generational wealth. Moving right along to section 2, rewiring your financial mindset. So, if those old rules are holding us back, we clearly need a new set of rules. The absolute most crucial point here is redefining what an asset and a liability truly are. Honestly, this is the ultimate secret of the wealthy, distilled into its absolute purest form. You can forget all the complicated accounting jargon. Kiyosaki defines it incredibly simply, and it's brilliant. An asset puts money in your pocket. A liability takes money out of your pocket. That is literally it. If your house requires a mortgage, maintenance, and taxes every single month without actually generating any income for you, it's taking money out of your pocket. It's a liability. The wealthy focus relentlessly on acquiring true assets, like investments and businesses that generate actual cash flow. Which brings us to section 3, the origin of atomic habits. Now, knowing you need to acquire assets is one thing, but actually sustaining the discipline to do that over a lifetime, that takes rock-solid systems. And this is exactly where James Clear's work comes in. His incredibly popular book, Atomic Habits, serves as the ultimate blueprint for the systems and behaviors you need to achieve these lofty financial and personal goals. Because, think about it, to build wealth, we first have to build the mind. To truly understand the raw power of Clear's methods, we have to look at the timeline of his own life. Back in 2002, Clear was accidentally hit in the face with a baseball bat. It was a devastating injury. It shattered his face, required a medically induced coma, and forced this incredibly slow, grueling recovery process. But it was during this dark time that he really learned the power of tiny, incremental improvements. It actually wasn't until 2012, a full decade later, that he even began writing about these concepts. And it took until 2018 for him to truly arrive with massive mainstream success. This wasn't an overnight thing. It was a multi-year journey of compounding effort. And that leads us perfectly into section 4, systems over goals. Clear's decade-long journey really challenges us to completely rethink how we approach success. We need to move away from these rigid endpoints and instead focus on the daily mechanics of action. Time is the absolutely crucial element here. Time magnifies the margin between success and failure. It literally multiplies whatever you feed it. So good habits make time your greatest ally. But bad habits, they make time your absolute enemy. And that magnification is driven by a single powerful number, 1%. Clear argues that making a tiny, seemingly insignificant 1% improvement in your daily routine honestly doesn't feel like much in the moment. In fact, it's barely even noticeable.
But when you apply that crucial element of time we were just talking about, those 1% improvements compound. They stack on top of each other day after day, week after week, eventually resulting in truly remarkable exponential growth.
Because of this, we really need to bust the whole myth of goal setting. Goals are simply the desired outcome, like, say, wanting to be a millionaire. Systems, on the other hand, are the actual processes that lead to the outcome, like the daily habit of investing a portion of your income into real assets. Clear emphatically declares that we should, actually, scratch that, we must forget about goals and focus entirely on building better systems instead. The goal sets your direction for sure, but the system is what guarantees your progress.
And this concept right here beautifully illustrates why so many people give up before they ever see those results. It's called the plateau of latent potential. It's that agonizing time lag between putting in the hard work and actually seeing the visible results of your compounding habits. If you're out there applying the 1% rule and you feel stuck, I want to assure you right now, feeling stuck is completely normal. Overnight success is a total myth. You're simply in the plateau, building stored energy. You just have to trust your system during this phase, because eventually that latent potential is going to break through.
All right, Section 5, the fundamentals of change. So we know we need systems, and we know we've got to weather that frustrating plateau. But to actually change your daily routine starting today, you must understand behavior at a neurological level. Clear breaks this down into the psychological loop of CCRR. Every single habit you have goes through this exact 4-step pattern. First, there's a cue, a trigger that initiates the behavior. Second is the craving, that's the motivational force or desire. Third is the response, the actual action you perform. And finally, the reward, the end goal that satisfies the craving. Think of it like your phone buzzing, right? The buzz is the cue, you crave the distraction, your response is checking the screen, and the reward is a quick little hit of dopamine. Understanding this loop means you now have the power to hack it. You can intentionally make good cues obvious and bad cues completely invisible. So how do we practically manipulate that loop? Clear offers 5 really actionable steps here. Number 1, pointing and calling. This just brings your unconscious habits into your conscious awareness. Number 2, creating a habit scorecard to audit what you're actually doing every day. Number 3, implementation intention, which is basically making a very specific plan for exactly when and where you will act. Number 4, habit stacking. And I challenge you to apply this one to your morning routine immediately. Take a habit you already do effortlessly, like drinking your morning coffee, and stack a new desired habit right on top of it, like reading one single page of a financial book. Easy, right? And number 5, design your environment. Make your good habits the path of least resistance.
Finally, Section 6, mastering your future.
We have covered a tremendous amount of ground today, all the way from the hard mechanics of money to the neurobiology of your daily actions. And I really want to leave you with a final provocative question to think about. Will you work for your habits and money, or will you make them work for you? By combining Kiyosaki's financial intelligence, focusing on true assets over liabilities, with James Clear's behavioral systems of those atomic 1% improvements, you literally possess the ultimate toolkit. It is time to stop relying on the flawed conventional wisdom of the past. Go out there, redesign your systems, redefine your assets, and take masterful control of your future. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I really hope you leave here today energized and ready to build the systems that will completely change your life. Catch you next time.